you do and what happened next?
As soon as I got out of my car, I laid on my stomach, put my legs and arms out, and the police officers ran to me. One kneed me in my head. One was pinching my eye with his fingers, like digging into my eyeball. One was hitting me in my head.
While you were down on the ground?
Yes, while I was down on the ground. As soon as I got out of my vehicle, I laid on the ground. And one of them, the first hit that I felt was a knee to the side of my face. And I just felt a lot of feet on me and hands. And I just remember a police officer digging into my eyeball with his finger, like in both of my eyes. And one was pulling my hair off, one was tasing me, and one was hitting me. And after so long, it's like I went numb and I didn't feel anything, but I just remember them saying, turn your body cam off, turn your body cam off. I remember one of them telling me that my mother should have swallowed me at birth. And one of them saying, why didn't I fight back? And that's about it after I laid on my stomach.
And the investigation into this incident, it said that when they put you into the back of the police car, one of the officers said to you, and I'm quoting, stupid mother effer, I hope you act up when we get to the effing jail. I'm going to punish you, dumb something, what the F is wrong with you, continuing with curse words. Did you hear all that?
Yes, sir.
What did you think was going to happen to you when you got to the jail? I mean, based on what they were saying.
I thought they were going to continue to beat me. I thought they were going to cause me more hell once I got to the jail, which they did, but they didn't put their hands on me, but they still caused me more problems.
The police report, as you know, that was filed, I mean, the story the police report told was a completely different story than what actually happened. How did you find out about that?
Some detectives from New Orleans reached out to me and told me that I would be a victim in this case, that they had evidence of the police beat me, and they had video of it. So they reached out to me about 3 or 4 months ago. That's how I found out about it.
The investigation also found that the officers involved were texting about this, where they were joking about beating you, saying, quote, LOL, he was still digesting that ass whooping, that it went on to say, he's going to be sore tomorrow for sure. He's going to have nightmares for a long time. It's remarkable. I mean, it's horrific, not only what they allegedly did, but the fact is they're talking about what they did to each other as if it's totally normal, as if it's clearly something they've done before.
Yes, sir. And I have read that they were in another incident with somebody else a year before that, and that person was killed.
You're talking about Mr. Green. Some of the officers were involved in that incident as well.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sterling, you're representing Antonio Harris in a suit against 3 of the 4 officers involved, along with Louisiana State Police Superintendent, the Louisiana State Police, and the Richland Parish Sheriff and Detention Center. What are you asking for, and what's the status of the lawsuit?
Yeah, well, Anderson, we just filed a lawsuit on last week. Antonio retained me just a few weeks ago. We were able to make to file the lawsuit prior to the statute of limitations expiring. So what we expect is we expect to get civil recovery for Antonio Harris. What's so despicable about this particular case, Anderson, as you know, this isn't a case where you got to question whether an officer made a split-second decision, and we're all wondering, whether or not the use of force was justified, whether it was a split-second decision. But this is a case where officers made a conscious decision to viciously beat Antonio Harris. Then after they beat him, they lied about it in their police reports, each covering up. The conspiracy to cover up this case continued in the police reports, continued in their report to the district attorney's office. The conspiracy to cover this up continued for nearly a year after Antonio suffered this vicious beating. And this was clearly a culture within the Louisiana State Police. No one stood up and said, "Hey, this is the wrong thing to do." In fact, they did the opposite. They bragged about it, laughed about it, joked about it in text messages. So we weren't saying, well, this isn't a question of whether or not, you know, officers were making a split-second decision. They made a conscious decision to beat Antonio, to violate his rights, to violate the law, to violate the Constitution, and they thought it was funny and joked about it.
Well, Antonio Harris, Mike Sterling, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thank you, Anderson.
Thanks.
Up next, a message of love for a dear friend who's fighting a brave battle.